Evening, everyone. TMA Sunday Night Live, where you choose the topics. We will discuss them. As always, we're in association with the Watford Football Club Former Players Club, fronted by Watford's favourite son, Blissett, and Neil Pricey. Head on over to facebook.com/tailor-made for the community. Yay! Here he is.
Hey. Got out the hole.
Technology.
That's it, mate. Right, so I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Mubdino, our very own Turkish immigrant himself, Mr. Dino, and also Canadian Darren. Even boys?
Who keeps vanishing faster than the John Cena manoeuvre.
I thought I couldn't see you half the time, but Darren is John Cena. He takes on a role every week. He was John McClane last week, wasn't he?
Exactly. Freddie Mercury the previous.
Oh, I know. Big shout out to Emma as well. Hi Emma. Thanks for coming on. Chris will be on soon, I reckon. A nice little topic from Cusack, so we'll keep our powder dry till it really matters, mate. We'll leave that one for third on. So we've got a couple of topics, one from Woody, one from Dan, and if you want to add any more, obviously throw them out there during the show, and if we can fit them into the show, we will obviously do so. So yeah, let's get straight on with it. Right. Oh, yeah. Evening all. My wife's upset Arsenal fan. Can we all laugh at her, please? Yeah, take a minute's laugh at those lot.
Twattery. The twattery has struck.
Yeah, that was ultimate twattery from the cop shites anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, Liverpool are running, Arsenal are hiding, and if anyone's seen Arsenal Fan TV yet, can they give us a shout? Because I want to know how much deluded crap's going on there right now.
I watched United stand. Goldbridge is brilliant, especially that 4-3 was absolute classic. That was brilliant. I can't do this anymore. It's when they're trying to body him. Well, he says, he's a Mr. Masturbator, and he goes, oh, it's Masturbator. He's like, oh, they've got me. It's crap like that. Right, let's go. I was about to say it's all a bit of wank, but there you go. Right, Dan's come up with good one. He's already on as well. Like I say, he's on. He says, realistic transfer targets. I like to take a punt on someone like Langstaff at Notts County. Good shout. Who knows where the goal is? Yeah, go on, Moobs. You start, mate, and we'll carry on with it, mate.
Yeah. Well, I think the transfer one is a tad early, but I think we'd have to see where. Yeah, well done for laughing. Yes, let's all laugh at Arsenal for a minute or two, please. Yes, thank you very much. Yep. Halsey, I'm wearing my shirt in honour of that. Sit there. As for some transfer targets, I think. We are definitely probably going to get a new goalkeeper, at least one, maybe if not two. We don't know what Backman's going to do if he's going to leave, because I think that's one area that needs looking at. Possibly maybe another centre back might be needed. Could still feel maybe there's one or two might get moved on. We don't know what Porteous is doing, whether he's going to say arrivederci and go to Italy. We don't know. Maybe a couple of new fullbacks as backup. I doubt we're going to buy Jamal Lewis permanently. I can't at the moment. I don't see that happening. Midfield. I don't really know who's about, and I don't honestly know what type of budget we're going to get from the club. So I think, if anything, I know you still got. I will go back to the things in a minute, but I think the one thing got to look at is we've still got the money from January that we didn't use. So some of that, you'd like to think actually all of that be made available. And it's also dependent on if we cash in on a Asprilla as well. If we cash in on him.
You gave me one, Halsey. My one's at the back there, mate. That's from Moobs. So cheers, Moobs. Nice one, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. I was going to say, inbox me and I can post them out to you as quick as anything, as faster than the Royal Mail actually try and deliver things these days. Might actually go UPS instead. There you go.
Delivery quicker than a Ramage Cross, mate.
Yeah,
There you go. You can have
6
that.
minutes. Jesus
6
Christ,
minutes,
that's a
mate. Sorry,
record.
babes. Go on, carry on.
Darren's pacing up and down. He seems
Trying to find his
worried.
cat.
Sorry.
It's the transfer window talk. He's pacing up and down. He thinks it's deadline day.
Will we sign today? Will we sign it?
VAR. I think, realistically, you probably, whoever takes the job on, whether Klebs does it, whether he doesn't, I think maybe you're looking at maybe 5 players, 6 maximum. But it's got to be across the pitch, like I say, midfield, some reinforcements in midfield might be needed. Possibly, I'm going to have to say it, a couple of strikers who know where the sodding goal is. I think that's fair to say right now. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't really know who they could go for. It's, maybe if like a team misses out on the playoffs or something, and there's someone half decent there that's caused us problems, maybe we could be cheeky and put a bid in. But yeah, it's a strange one, mate. And like what Dan's saying, this Langstaff could be worth a go. If he knows where the back of the net is, well, but quite frankly, that's hallelujah, praise the Lord. And I think everyone in Watford will quite happily have a street party for that one, let alone a public holiday. So I was going to say that's it for me. I'm going to pass the baton on.
Ozan.
He's looking at the Just Eat order.
Yeah, I hate this question, to be honest. It's always bloody transfers. I'm trying to think of other. I wouldn't mind getting Mullins from Wrexham, if I'm being honest. I think he's the sort of striker we could do with. I know they've had back-to-back promotions, but he'd definitely come to a championship side. I can't believe he'd stay loyal. And he's the sort of bloke we could do if he's, he knows where the goal is. He's brave. He'll want to play in the Premier League. That's the sort of hunger we need in the team at the moment. We need more players like that. And I think he'd be perfect for Watford. I don't think it costs that much money. We can definitely afford his contract, because I don't think they're offering him much at Wrexham. I don't know, probably 5-6 grand. So we can, more than double or triple that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've forgotten who he bloody plays for, but a lad called Sykes, he plays in the Championship, and I think he was midfielder. He's a very who?
I'm just being funny. I said Eric Sykes.
Oh, Eric. Oh. Yeah. A player called Sykes who plays in midfield. I'm very impressed with him. I can't remember if it was Robin. I don't think it was Robin. It was someone. He's a very good midfielder.
Yeah, I know you mean. Sykes, good player, mate.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. I don't think he'd cost much. And, you got Pidge's one of Swansea. That costs a lot of money. Grimes. You get them 3 in the team, got a good bloody chance. But I don't know where to go after that. It's such a tough question. And like Moob said, you've got to see what money, see who's staying, see who's going. I want to keep Asprilia, but if we get such an outrageous offer, we're going to have to sell him and start again, basically. So I don't know. I have to pass it to Darren. I don't really know where else to go with this one.
No, it is a tough question. I mean, and Ian just popped up there with the lad May at Charlton. My mate who we saw last night for drinks, he's a Charlton fan, and that's a club that's mid-table, and he's top scorer with 20, 23, I think, goals. Someone like that might be very much worth the punt. But I think the biggest thing of all, like both of you have alluded to, is who's in charge and what's the budget going to be. Is there going to be interest from the US? I really, really hope we keep Tom Cleverley. I think it'll be such a shot in the arm for the club full time. And I've said it before, I just don't bloody trust our owners. I think they could still do something from left field, and I think it'd be a tragedy, because this could be really good. But we'll see. But other than that, yeah, I think, as Moob said, possibly another keeper coming in. But I do agree, probably maybe 6 tops, but probably know a few more, or know a little bit more in a couple of weeks as the various leagues start to sort out who's going up and who's going down, right? So And like Dino was saying there, Wrexham there. I've been really. I know I've watched the documentaries too, but Mullins looks, as much as a very good forward, he looks a bloody good bloke. The sort of bloke you would want in your dressing room. Just a good character. So we'll see. And I don't know. What do you think, Pidge?
Yeah, but I was going to actually say Mullins. He beat me to it. Dino did. 100% have Mullins. Langstaff, yeah, I'd have him. Alfie May's a great player as well. I'd take Luke O'Nien from Sunderland as a midfielder. I still think he's a good player.
One of
Needs
our
to
old
find a bit
academy.
more consistency, but he's a good player. Luke O'Nien, yeah, he used to be with us anyway. He's a Hemel lad. He's a local lad. He used to be in our youth team, but I'd love him to come back. O'Nien. Yeah, definitely. Mullins and Langstaff are the ones alongside Alfie May are the ones that stand out for me in terms of goal scoring. I agree with Moves. We need a consistent goal scorer. I mean, Rajovic scores goals, but not on a consistent level enough to change our course, shall we say. We need it's easy enough to say, but we need a 20, 30 goal season striker, but every club's looking for that. It's a case of very few and far between they are, but like you said, Alfie May's banging him in for Charlton, so he's definitely has. Dino got any tips for Turkish leagues? I'm surprised you haven't come out with any decent players from the Turkish league, mate. I mean, you've gone safe with Mullins. Let us know if you know anyone in Galatasaray or something we can get on loan, Dino, because that would be quite, break into the Turkish market. We can bring you in, mate. We'll speak to our contacts at the club. We haven't got any, but we'll make out we have, like some people do, and we'll get you in, mate. Alfie May is 31 this year. Can't see if Pozzo stays. No future in cover. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Mr. Pearce from InReach, one of our official partners. He says, do you think we should hold on to Asprilla with the hope he'll be worth more in 12 months once he's got a few games under his belt, like we did with João Pedro, or cash in with him now? I mean, personally, I'd love to see him for one more year, and then, that'd probably be the best route, is to keep him one more season. But if the money comes in, if a 20, 30 million pound offer comes in this season, he's gone. But I'd love to keep him for one more season, carry on his development, like you said, Terry, like Shell did as well. So I definitely would. Moobs?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'd love him for another season. I actually think it would do him the world of good to have one more season with us. But like you say, if someone offers the big bucks right now, we're going to have to think about taking it, because we lose the parachute money from the Prem. So that's a kick in the nuts. So yeah, something's got to give. But if no one comes in, then he stays regardless. So yes, in a nutshell, I would love him for one more season, then give him the golden handshake and tell his agent, you can go and talk to Barcelona now and get 42 million for us.
Yeah. Dino, what do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, pretty much what you said. As you know, I'm a humongous fan of Asprilla. I do believe he'll become a top player, but it won't be with us. I know that. Same with Pedro. He's going to be a top player with Brighton when he gets fit. He'll sort himself out. But yeah, pretty much what you said. If offer of 30 plus comes, we can't. I'm afraid we can't hesitate and wait. We'd probably only need 10 million of that to get promoted, so we'd still have profit. So. Yeah, I'd love to keep him for a year. I'd love to keep him longer, but like you said, if a ridiculous offer comes in, we can't hesitate. We've got to snap their hand off, basically.
Yeah. I agree with Dino and moves. I think he'll be gone in the summer, and I wish him all the best. It'd be great if he stays, but if we do get very good money for him, then you've got to look at the overall size and strength of the squad and the opportunities that will give us. Get other players in. So. Yeah, he's been a good lad too. I've enjoyed watching him. Sometimes he's a bit hot and cold, but overall he's very tricky. Great to watch. So if he goes, I think he goes with all of us with a blessing, because he's been great. Been really good.
Absolutely, mate. Right, a few what are people messaging? Obviously, cheers, guys and girls. We've read out most of them. Gary says we have to give Tom the job, because I feel he would do well at another club. If we don't give him the job, other teams will be looking at him. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We've gone with the bulk order. We've already solved the bulk order of the Man City shirts. Gary said still feel very gutted about yesterday's result. The ref was poor, playing extra 2 minutes when it's supposed to be 7 minutes, and it was definitely handball. What I would say with that is, yeah, he shouldn't be playing about 9 minutes, but the rules do say it has to be a minimum. It doesn't. It's not rugby. We don't stop it at 7 minutes. If they say 7 minutes, they could play. They could play an extra 45 minutes if they wanted to, as long as they play that 7 minutes. Then it's literally anyone's guess. I mean, as long as they play at 7 minutes, it gives you a rough guide. But look, it was. I agree with you, Gary. I'm pissed off and gutted that we didn't get what we should have gone, and we did get cheated because it was a blatant handball. That's the only time I ever feel we deserve something is when we get cheated. And we deserve to draw that yesterday because of the handball. But in terms of the added time, it was the same for both sides. That's what Alan said on Twitter. It's the same for both sides, the timing. I mean, if we had scored, we wouldn't be going on about the time. I can see what you mean, but they always say with the rules, it's the minimum they put up. As long as they do that, they can play as much as they want after. But yeah, it's bollocks. It stinks. We know that, but we've got to make sure we see games out. But that's obviously what Tom's looking at, and this is what is perfect because we do keep him on, like Darren said. We do. Hopefully, we keep him on. He sees all these errors now, so he can address it in the summer and kick on start the season. So I'd rather him do that than come in pre-season without really looking into what he needs to prove in the from the season before. Right. Okay. So Woody's put. Is it the swapping and changing of the back four that is causing the issues in defence? What do you reckon, Moves?
So I'm just flicking through the paper there.
Very nice.
No, it is very, very nice. I was doing the crossword as well while Dino was talking, so I was trying to get me his knowledge up. Unfortunately, there was no questions about Watford or anything like that. No, I don't. Do you know what? I don't think we can keep blaming the changes in the back line. I've got to be honest. I will say one thing. I was shocked to see Ryan Andrews drop to the bench yesterday. That's one thing I didn't see coming. Kind of feel that might have cost us actually the first goal because it came down the right hand side, and that's where Ryan Andrews would have been. But no, I don't think it is. I think sometimes we're just victims of our own downfall. We shoot ourselves in the foot far too many times. It's been a curse of Watford for years, ever since I've been going, since the mid-90s. But we have always found a way of either switching off or just going, oh, by the way, mate, there's the goal, go and have some shooting practice. To not be switched on as we were yesterday in the first minute is diabolical. But no, I don't think that you can keep blaming the changes because those players train every day. It's not as if some of them are just training and then going, oh, by the way, we're not going to bother training. We'll just walk in and then just play a game. Michael, I understand what you're saying there with your comment, but at the end of the day, they train on the pitch together. Yeah. So if Tom Cleverley knows who his starting back line's going to be, he will train with that back. He will train that back line all week long. So you get that understanding. It's one thing that we all used to do. If you knew where you were going, like if you're in a back four, you'd work. You work with that back four to get the understanding. So, yeah, no, I don't think. I think we're just victims of our own downfall, and we just too many of our players switch off at the wrong times. It's as simple as that.
Too fan.
No. I'm glad Moob said that because I totally bloody agree with him. What understanding do they need? What understanding does the right and left back need to mark your man out right and stop crossing? What understanding do the two bloody centre backs need to call the line and talk to your midfield? What do they have to do? If us as amateurs can sort it out, why can't bloody professionals? Why do we have to keep giving them excuses? They get paid a bloody lot of money to do their job. So, you know, I think it's a load of old crap blaming it from 5 to 4, 4 to 5. What a load of nonsense, I think. Like Moob said, they train every bloody day together. What's so hard about it? You know, the right backs and left backs squeeze in a bit, they help the centre backs. When the ball comes out wide, you stop the bloody cross. What's so bloody difficult about that? You know, it's simple. It's not hard to understand. It's very bloody simple and straightforward. So no, it shouldn't make any excuses, especially professionals. No, it's absolute nonsense. And I saw the goals conceded. I know it was handball, but to concede in 1 minute and oh god, it was bloody shocking. That's terrible at amateur level, let alone ours. So yeah, I'm not having that excuse of changing. It's like Moob said, they train together all bloody week. It's bloody nonsense. So, and the age has nothing to do with it either. I don't take that either.
Yeah, I've played in games where I've gone up, one up in 1 minute and one down in 1 minute, and it really does kind of rattle you either way, right? Either a positive momentum or very negative. And I think the thing is, like Tom said in his pre-match interview, you know, he knew exactly, and the team knew how they were going to approach the game. And they do have enough time to work through it. I mean, I know in an ideal world, you want to settle back 3 or settle back 4, of course you do. But the whole point of being a professional footballer is to be selected to play in a position that you can bring, you know, some quality to the squad. It does seem to be a bit of a mental thing, just switching off. I mean, as a professional player, how are you not absolutely focused from that first second as you walk out the tunnel, as you leave the changing room? You know, you should be so, the adrenaline's just buzzing, right? You're so fired up. So it's a strange one, but you know, it's a lesson learned, and hopefully, and I do like Tom's honesty about everything. You know, I just hope these Pozo guys just pick him. I really do. But yeah, it's. I think, in fairness to Tom, he picks the squad he thinks is the right squad for that game, and he's been pretty good with his judgment overall. To be fair, a good mate of mine who lives in Spain, who's a Saints fan through and through, he said he felt embarrassed. He didn't want to phone me after the handball game. Thought I'd go ballistic, but it is what it is, right? But I don't know. When you look at football, and sometimes you look at, I'm not saying this happened yesterday, but I remember reading an excellent book about corruption in FIFA. And in 1978, during the World Cup, Argentina played Peru in a pre-World Cup friendly, and Peru were a good side in 78. And Peru beat them 1-0. And then when it came to the qualifying rounds, the only way Argentina could qualify as the host nation was to beat Peru 6-0. And they beat them 6-0. They beat them 6-0, and it came to light that the officials were very handsomely paid through dignitaries of the Argentinian FA. So corruption exists. I'm not saying it happened yesterday, but it does irk me that 3 officials between them can't see the handball. I'm expecting one linesman can't see the handball, but the other linesman and the ref, I don't know. And I think what sickens me is that there's that Dan Backman interview where the bloke who got the winning goal sort of said to him, well, you know, you do the same. That's that. I just get sick of the level of cheating that's going on and on and on in the modern game. The shirt pulling, corner kicks, they're just always pushing the envelope. And I remember when Di Canio stopped a goal. Do you remember he had a chance to score and he put the ball up? Yeah,
it was with Everton, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'd like to see a bit more of that in the modern game, a bit more of acting like a gentleman, you know. People come out with this crap about, you know, winning's everything, it's all about the win. No, you should play the game with the spirit it's meant to be played in. And that's just been slowly ebbed out the game now. It's all about literally winning at all costs, you know, cheating, whatever you can do to get that extra half an inch. And it's just killing, for me, because I'm an old git, it's killing the game. It really is not the way it used to be played. And I just think it's a shame, because it's just like Thierry Henry the other month was in an interview, and he was on about when he handballed for France that knocked Ireland out of the World Cup qualifier. And he turned around and said, well, yeah, you know, looking back, I really don't feel good about it now. That's bullshit. That was a massive game. And if he was any kind of man, he would have just held his hand up, pardon the pun, and said to the ref, all right, ref, sorry. But no, it's just that greed, that ego. you're talking about a lot of people in the game that are absolute pieces of shit as people. Not all of them, but there's a fair few of them. They're really not very nice people, and it's a shame. And they've kind of been coached that way to a degree, and they've been encouraged more than anything to go that route. So I'll shut up now.
It's always good having the extra half-inch, mate. I know about that, so don't worry. But no, look, you're totally right about, you know, there's more because of the money. It's the money that has done that. But in terms of the defence, you guys, I agree and disagree with you guys. You're absolutely right in the sense that it shouldn't matter who you're playing with. You should be able to get on that pitch and do your job. You've been training with these players all week. You should be able to get on there. They play different formations, different variations of the back line. You should be able and ready to get on there. Dave said, well said, Darren, absolute class. Yeah, absolutely. I'll back that as well. But there is another side of it as well, that you can't have that cohesion with a back, especially I agree with the fullbacks, centre backs and the forwards. You've got to be playing regular with your centre back partner, because Hoots literally had a different partner every single game. It'd be nice to have 4 or 5 games in a row with the same centre back partner, you know, so you can get an understanding. They can get, you know, be comfortable. Because, I completely agree with you guys that they should be able to, the professional footballers, they should be able to get on that field, regardless of who's with them, and understand their role and know exactly what to do, regardless of who's alongside them. But there is that obvious argument, especially with the front twos back in the day and the centre midfielders and the centre backs, that if you feel more, you know, you always want to give them a run of games because they get that understanding and they seem to be all organised. Our problem is because, and I can understand why Val done it, because he likes to work with a small squad, he was moving it about all the time. So, like Rajovic never started 2 games, or very rarely started 2 games. Bayer was the same. It was always a different fullback combination. It was always a different forward combination. I'm not making excuses for him whatsoever, but it'd be nice to have a settled front 3 or a settled back 2 or settled midfield 3 for once. You know, both are right. Both are right. You should be able to get on there, but also it'd be nice to have a bit of consistency in terms of the selection and not always just change it for the sake of switching it around. But yeah, and Stuart, evening, mate. He's put a few things about it. He said, disagree, can't keep changing back line. He says, it's not simple. He says, success is built from the back. Fact. He says, defence was shite. Woody said, can't blame Tom for that result. That was just down to poor defending. He's also said, build from the back. Like I say, I'll echo once again. Says that he said, well said, Darren, absolute class. That's some big Dave. Stuart, all these changes at the back makes no sense. And Stuart says, back 4 has to be solid. Wake up. Right, okay, so let's get on to the next one.
I'll tell you what,
well.
just quickly, just one other thing on this back 4 lot. On this,
you take it slowly if you want, mate.
Yeah, no, it's also the fact that we are cursed with injuries half the time. Yeah. You know, so there's always an enforced change.
Yeah,
you can't deny it. And plus, we are too bloody yellow card prone as well. So you know, Porteous had to sit a couple of games out recently for suspension because he'd racked up too many. You know, there's other factors in this. I think Hoyt's been suspended as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, someone tells the back line, calm your tempers down as well. And also, we've not had the same goalkeeper all season. We've chopped and changed that as well. So, you know, who's to blame for that one? You can't blame the players for that. That's a manager.
Yeah.
All on his own.
Right.
So,
yeah, you're all right. There's a lot of factors to be thrown into it. It'd be nice to just have some consistency, because they always say consistency breeds results, doesn't it? And it's just a shame we haven't had that. Right. Okay. Straight on to the last one. We knew we were going to keep this. I haven't seen him yet, but Jake Livermore, Xavi Livermore, as I call him. Yeah. Go on, Moobs.
Well, he's God. He's God. End of. You know.
Amazing.
I'll tell you what, here's one for Mr. Cusack, because he's been slating him all season. Who got the goals at QPR away? Who got those goals? Lee, come on. You can't say he's rubbish when he pops up and scores 2 corkers. It's because he's not Woody. I don't care if he's not happy. You know, he needs to go and take a chill pill because the bloke's deluded as far as I'm concerned. And I don't care if he sees this and hears that, because quite frankly, I'm just going to say it how it is. Livermore, yeah, it took him a bit of time to get fit at the start of the season. That is a fact, because he left West Brom. He had no options on the table. He was ready to walk away from football until Ismail came calling. So, you know, you've got to then get him back into a rhythm. You've got to get him back training. You know, that thing takes a bit of time. But when he got going, when he got his fitness, I'm sorry, but there was plenty of games when he was on that pitch that he was breaking the play up, and he was absolutely awesome for us. You know, that spell we had when we had the perfect midfield three of, didn't we say Livermore, Kone, Kayembe?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. You know, those three at one point were outstanding. He was outstanding. He was, you know, and I still say, even the last game I saw him play from the start against Millwall, he was the only one really that was pulling his socks up and saying, right, I'm going to start getting dirty. And, well, if you lot ain't going to do the work, I'll do it, and I'll risk getting myself sent off for it. So, to me, Jake Livermore, yes, he is a good player for us. You know, clearly, cleverly wants to try something different. That's fair enough. He's got his ideas, but is Livermore throwing his toys out the pram about it? No, he's being a professional and he's just getting on with it. So, yeah, sorry, Lee, you need to elaborate on why Jake Livermore. Why? You know, because at the end of the day, he ain't really done much wrong this season. So, yeah. Oh, and he's an ex-Tottenham legend as well. That's what I wanted.
That's yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah, go on, Dino.
Yeah, at first, when I first saw Livermore, I weren't sure that was the start of the season. But then, you know, like Moob said, he's grown into it. You know, you're not just having him for the football, you are having him for experience as well. We've talked about this with other players. I think definitely one more year. He won't be, I don't want to be horrible to him. If we did get promoted next year, I couldn't see him staying then for the Premier League. But, you know, you can see the way the players are with him. They love him. I'll definitely give him one more year. He's, you know, come on, who's been our best player this season? I bet not many people can name any, you know. And Livermore definitely hasn't been our worst player, you know. Like Move said, some games he's been our best player on the pitch. He's controlled midfield. He's slowed it down. He's, you know, got control of the game, you know. And Kuzak just don't like him, does he? Which is fair enough, you know. But I'd definitely have him for one more year. I think he'd be good as a sub. I can't see him starting, you know, many games, but it'd be good to bring on, take control of the game if we need, say it's 1-0 or 2-0, just to slow the temper down, help the youngsters out, and I think he's perfect for that, Livermore. So I think he's earned at least, definitely one more year. I wouldn't give him a 2-year contract, but I'd definitely give him another year, and I think he deserves it, to be fair. I think he really does.
Yeah, for me, I think, as you both alluded to it, he did not look good at all when he first started at the start of the season. And then he really did come into his own. And when we were on that really good run before Christmas, where we were about 11 unbeaten, I think, you know, he was a big part of that. It's very clear that under Tom, you know, he's got different thoughts on how he wants the squad set up, which is fair enough as well. But yeah, I've got nothing against. You know, at the end of the day, like Pidge always says, any fan on here is totally allowed their opinions, and that's what it's all about. But for me, I just don't think it's healthy to have something bordering on almost a hatred of a player. It's not healthy for you as an individual, because I think Livermore, what we did see at times this season was he really was giving it all for the shirt. And there's a few in the squad I still don't think have done that on enough occasions. There's greater offenders than Jake. But I remember when we first got promoted back to the Prem under Flores, and can't think of the guy's name, but he scored the first goal for us at Everton on opening day.
Oh, Leon.
Yeah, Leon, that's it, yeah.
Yeah,
Mexican
Mexican player. And there was particular fan on Watford Observer articles that like just absolutely hated the guy, and I'm thinking, geez, what's this guy done? Right, he's just a professional footballer. You may not like him, fair enough, but you know, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I haven't met Lee, and hopefully I will one day. I'm sure he's a good lad, but I just, yes, there are certain players that irk us, but don't ever let it get too personal for yourself, right? It's just try and enjoy the game, try and enjoy the wins, and not so much the 99th minute losses, I guess, really. And I think it could be good to be around for another year, to be fair. You know, because what I think will happen, if Clevs gets the job, you will see an increase in youngsters coming through. I'm convinced of that, which is really good. But of course, with that, you've got to balance it with some aged wisdom. And someone like that, who may not get a lot of game time, but he's brilliant to have on the training ground, and he's great to have in the room and maybe on the bench too, right? So just like I remember under the Graham Taylor days, when we got Pat Rice from Arsenal, everybody knew he was at the end of his days, but he added so much on and off the pitch, you know. So I don't know, moves roaring on the camera or something.
No, Halsey was wondering why he was waving a knife about earlier as well.
He's a very angry man.
Can I just say, I've met Cusack a few times, and he's a really, really nice bloke. He's literally on this massive piss taking tour. Don't mean look. He knows he's going to get shit. He said that to me as well. And like I say, I'm not saying you boys are annoyed. It don't annoy me. But he knows. He knows if I tell him to wind his neck in if thing. But honestly, he's a nice bloke. Cusack, you will like him when you see him. Yeah, but moves will bring a knife. 80s ain't now. Yeah, but no, but we're looking for examples with the Pat Rice, with the experience. You could keep someone like Livermore in and around, like Darren said, in and around the squad next season, with all the influx of these kids coming through. You know, to in the long term bring them through. Hopefully, you know, he'd be valuable. You have some people like him around, so I completely agree, mate. Get one or two, you know, mix it around. Don't have, you know, they say you can't win anything with kids, but you can't have the age can't be too thing like we did have around the FA Cup final, where the average age of the side was quite old at one stage.
I was just going to say, mate, as well. Listen to what Tom Cleverley was saying this week. It sounds like Greaves is definitely pushing. He rates him highly, so I think that's something. Class. Yeah, I reckon that's something really to look forward to for next season. I really do.
Yeah, Ademayu, we've got these two. You got that South American lad who's now gone on loan, non-league, and he starts with a H. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name properly, but you got a couple of really good young foreign imports coming in for next season as well, so it's looking bright. Me arse ain't no bite in the current squad. His arse is no so Stuart, I ain't seen your arse, mate, so I'm not going to take your word for it. Moons might have done, but I haven't, so but he's right, there's no bite in the current squad. We need to instill some we need to instill a bit of that, mate. I do agree with that. Right, okay,
sorry, just one thing. They're saying there's no bite. So, what was Livermore doing half the time when he was throwing himself into challenges? I think back to Norwich at home when Ashley Barnes got put on his arse by Jake Livermore, where he just literally manhandled the bloke like we were joking backstage. It was literally a wrestling move. It was literally picked him up and slammed him, and the ref just said, "Play on." Yeah. Is that not having bite? Is that not blimmin'?
People wanting Barnes. He says he's a prick anyway. Just take him out. We'll let it slide. We'll let this one slide for no yellow card for this one.
Yeah.
You probably agreed with him. Yeah, mate. Right. Okay. You ready, mate?
Yeah, it's that time. Oh, not looking forward to this. Oh, yes. Hello, everyone. It is not a good day. It is a bad day. It's been a bad weekend. Would you Adam and Eve it? No, quite frankly, I wouldn't. I'm just going to quickly readjust so you can actually see me better. I'd just like to say, We do have a lampshade. I'd like to say we do have a lampshade. There you go. I'm actually in another room this week. I'm not upstairs like I normally am. I'm downstairs. So yeah, it's another antique roadshow lampshade coming to a show near you very soon. Where do I start this week? Oh, this is hard. This really is hard, guys and girls. I'm not gonna hide from it. I'll start with the women. As I say, ladies first. Guys, I'm afraid it's bad news. It is extremely bad. Girls today played a catch-up game against home to Charlton Athletic. This game was originally planned for, I think it was just over a month ago. It was meant to be played at Wealdstone, but unfortunately the game at that time was called off due to a waterlogged pitch. But you know, a rearranged game today with the form they've been on. Yes, I do live in Halo Heaven. It is absolutely amazing, mate. I tell you, you should come and join us one day. Yeah, as you can probably say, you probably realise I'm struggling to talk, purely because the girls succumbed to a late 2-0 defeat, and ultimately they have been relegated today from the FA Women's Championship, which means they return back to the FA Women's National League South for next season. It is an absolute hard one to take right now. I'm like I say, I'm just totally and utterly lost for words. They've given it their all this season. They've battled hard. They've given everything in every game. Every time they've walked across that white line, they've played for the shirt every week. But it just isn't meant to be. Just all this season, it wasn't meant to be. So it is a hard one, really, right now to take. They do have a couple more games left. They've got ironically next Saturday. Why Saturday? I'm still trying to find out why. We make the girls will be making the trip up to to play Blackburn Rovers. They'll be going up to Lancashire. That's as far as we're aware, that is getting played at the Lancashire FA county ground. Kickoff, I think, is either 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So if you live in that area, please pop down if you can, and you know, just showing some support. Unfortunately, because it bloody well clashes with Hull City at home, none of us are going to be making the trip up. The girls a couple of them did say to us after the game today that they would let us off for not going next weekend because they understood that the men being at home, we've got our season tickets, so we have to prioritise stuff, which it's a shame that it's got to be done. And then on the last weekend in April, we finish up with Reading at home, which will be played at Vicarage Road. It's like I say, guys. The club are doing kids go free things. So if you buy an adult ticket, with every adult ticket, you can take a child with you. But you must buy an adult ticket to get the child one free. You can't just buy a child one and go, oh, look, child's got a free ticket. He can go to the football on his own. Absolutely not going to happen. If you want to do it, if you want to go, come down, be a chance to say thank you to the players for this season. Like I say, they've given it their all. On to, I'm going to move swiftly on. It's even more depressing. Going on to non-league and the men, Jesus Christ, if things can't get any worse, they are going to be getting worse, because right now, if you're a Hemel fan like me, and I'm sure Pidge has possibly realises what could happen next weekend, Hemel have really shot themselves in the foot this year. Or since January, really, they've shot themselves in the foot. I don't know why. We don't know what's going on. But yesterday they slipped to a 3-2 defeat at home to Slough. If you want to know about controversy, you should have been at Hemel, because Hemel equalised to make it 3-3. The lino put his flag up for offside, yet the player who scored it was 4 yards onside. So if you can understand who was offside, please try and work it out and let me know. Because ultimately it has cost Hemel big time, and they now go to Taunton next Saturday in the final game of the season, possibly, because Taunton have got to play 2 matches this week. They're playing one on Tuesday, they're playing one on Thursday before they take on Hemel. If Taunton win one of those games, Hemel have to avoid defeat on Saturday to stay in the National League. If Taunton lose both games, Hemel are over the line, they're safe, they don't have to worry. But the financial repercussions are just absolutely abysmal. There's a lot of teams have been slipping up lately in non-league, our local sides. Like we said last week, big congratulations to Chesham. They were promoted back to the National League South for next season. I do know Bishop Stortford, who were harshly put in National League North this season due to geographical stuff and not having enough northern teams available to go in that league. Ridiculous in my book. They actually got relegated out of the National League North, so they're going back down a couple of leagues to I think where they got promoted from last season. The joys of non-league, it's painful at the best of times. Great to see South Park winning by the looks of that. I think was that South Park winning? Yep. Oh, they beat Northwood. Okay, nice little local game for them. Big well done to South Park. Yeah, it is a real tough one. I'll tell you what, guys, I'm not being funny. I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to be so glad when the football season's over. I think Pidge is laughing at that. Honestly, this has been painful this year. As you all know, I love my football, no matter what. Non-league, Watford women, I love it. But yeah, this has been almightily painful. So yeah, on that note, please, if you are available on the 28th of April, come down to Vicarage Road, cheer the girls on. And also one other thing we've now got for the women's thing, we have our own drum, ladies and gentlemen. There is a positive one today. Actually, yes, that's the positive. We finally, the supporters group, have their own drum. Now, I know Stuart's still watching, so he's probably thinking, what the hell is all this about? Well, we've got to thank the one and only Mr. Ross Morgan, who managed to acquire one for free off a neighbour. We trialled it out today, and I can safely say it worked to the point where I ended up walking out the stadium with a headache. So cheers, boys. Appreciate that one. So yeah, like I say, 28th of April, Reading at home for the final time of the season. For the girls, come down and cheer us on.
As you said, you can't beat that move, Zil. Well, maybe you can. Woody says, as a Watford fan, it's been a hard season. Start to look forward to next season, yeah. And
yeah, totally.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, talk one excellent segment to another. Let's get going, Mr. Canadian man.
So,
Here
we go. It's called Sun Scout, and it's a IPA from the Wild Rose Brewery here in Calgary. So Wild Rose is the actual flower of the province of Alberta where we live. So you can see the big rabbit. Might have to sign him to go up front next year. So that's it. Yeah, it's a really nice hazy India Session Ale is the official title, actually, as I look at that. Nice beer. So cheers, guys, and Moobs, cheer up, mate. The next season will be better, mate, for everyone, I'm sure. Hope so. Cheers.
I said drinking that beer put hairs in the chest, wouldn't it? Sorry, I had to say that. Sorry, boys. Really shit. It is the end of the show. It was shit to begin with. Huh?
That bugs me.
Oh, Jesus. Let the rabbit out the hat there, didn't you?
At least there ain't a carrot on it.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, hang on. Darren, you've got a question coming in.
Oh, God.
What's the ABV from Hull?
Yeah, it is 4.5. 4.5.
Ooh,
Ooh.
not a bad one, actually.
Yeah,
On a Sunday.
All round to his. So I hope you have plenty of beers. Stuart, you need to get your passport out, mate, because Darren's in Canada.
Yeah.
Or just sneak over in a lorry like Darren did.
Yeah. Was the beer hot? Oh,
God.
Puts a spring in your step anyway. I would say.
It's a bit like Roadrunner.
Oh, nyong. There he is. Right, guys, girls. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Yeah, absolutely, mate. We'll see you next week. We'll get all your opinions through, all your topics. Any reviews you want to do about the game at home to Hull, and anything else in between as ever. Mr. Illegal.
What? What?
I don't know. Stuart, elaborate. Great show, guys. All the best. Cheers, mate. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend.
See you in the pub next Saturday.
Cheers, mate.
Right, yeah. So, as always, you've been beautiful. We've been TMA. It's good night from the man, the myth, the legend.
It's good night from Turkish Kebab Point.
It's good night from Darren.
And good night from the man above.